three things, all sort of evil thoughts can come to the person's mind. All sort of evil machinations. In fact, the person will take some actions that you wonder, why is this person behaving like this? So if you are broke, you are bored, or you are idle, you are susceptible to taking some rash decisions that may eventually come to hurt you or hurt other people around you. Now, a lack of money is itself the fallout of lack of something else. Get this very well. If not having money means that you lack something else that makes you not to have money. And what are the things that you lack that makes you to lack money? One of them could be work, right? Work can help to ameliorate at least three evils that we have talked about. What are those three evils? Being broke, being bored, and being idle. If you have a work, it can alleviate your being broke. At least you may make some money from your work. If you have a work, it may remove your feeling of being bored. And if you have a work to do, of course, you are not idle anymore. Those three evils, one of the best ways of removing them is work. Now, there are many kind of engagement that people have, even though we say that it can remove these three things, especially poverty. Often, but not always, you find you are bored, your time is calling to be utilized for something physical or tangible, sometimes not necessarily mental. And that is where work comes in. This something may or may not be exciting, and this is where work is very important. Not all work is fun to undertake, like I heard you discussing earlier on. Not all works are, interesting or exciting. Sometimes you do the work just to feed, just to eat. But since doing some work is better, it's a better way to utilize your time than simply sitting down idle, it can attenuate feelings of boredom to a certain level. In other words, even if you don't enjoy your job, at least you are not idle. That's what I'm trying to say. So if we say work, it doesn't mean that work will solve all the problems, but at least it will remove one or two. It will remove idleness. Maybe financial problem may also be removed, but it may not remove boredom because you may be bored of the work itself. Allahu Akbar. If you land a job or you start some businesses you have running where you are sure of something financial benefits that will come for your effort, then it is possible that your experience with boredom will be less. Meaning that if you are working and you know that it's going to yield result, financial results, possibly the boredom will not be so much. Do you agree with me? So in essence, work provides you an escape route of some sort, however little, it makes you escape from boredom, no matter how small it is. Especially if you know that there's something you are going to benefit from that work. So if you've got something doing for money, you have, as it were, a double-edged sword against boredom. You get money and you get busy. You get money and you get busy. The work itself waters down possible feelings of boredom and the possible financial proceeds that accrue from doing the work. All of this one can help you to remove boredom. So that is the thing of work. A lack of work can be a burden for some people, especially if they are workaholics. Like some workaholics, they don't feel good if they are not working. And in fact, they are going to be sick. Workaholics can fall sick because it's not working. It can be a torture for a workaholic not to work. So whether that work pays him financially or not, because a workaholic, it is something that he wants to do and he must do it. If you are not a workaholic also, you can get bored if the work is not exciting, if it's not interesting, and if it is too, if it's too tedious, or if it's too monotonous. Let me put it that way. Ennui sets in and then you don't derive any benefit from it again. So what are the ways out? Number one, you may need some work or some activity to do, or you may need to have some money to be able to remove things that get you bored, or you may have to have access to boredom busters that may not even require you to spend money. In other words, you need to understand what is it you can use in removing this boredom. Now, we have mentioned work as one of it, and we mentioned something doing as part of it. If you are not idle, it's possible that you can remove your boredom. Somebody that is jobless, what would the person do? It means one of the ways through which person can remove boredom is to get a job or be active or to be busy doing one thing or the other. I hope you understand. And even if you don't have a job, just have money. I don't know how you are going to do that. If there's any way you can do that, just have money. Yes, have money to spend around. You know, when you have money to spend, you may be able to satisfy your quest to remove boredom from your life. If you know how to spend money, that is. So that is number one. Number two of things that can bring boredom and things we can do to remove that particular boredom is places. Places. What did I call the first one? Money. The second one is places. What do I mean by places? How long have you been where you are? When last did you travel? You need to ask yourself that question. How long have you been where you are? I think one of the biggest contributing factors to feeling of boredom in people is the place or the environment where such persons are located as at that time they are feeling bored. Have you noticed where you are and how you feel wherever you are? Where do you think you always are and you feel bored? And where do you think you are and you don't really feel bored? I hope you understand it now. Okay, let's say, for example, you are somebody who likes to eat your local food. Somebody mentioned a local food for me. Anybody? Pounded yam, yes. If you are somebody who likes eating pounded yam, and you happen to travel to a place where they don't have pounded yam, and you remain there for like 6 months, some ennui, some boredom will come in, and you may not be able to quickly attribute it to the food that you are missing. So missing something that you normally enjoy in a particular environment, if you change an environment to go to another place and you don't have access to it, it can get you bored. Really, really bored. In such cases or similar cases, changing your location or your environment to one that has your favorite delicacies or the thing that you are fond of can judge your enthusiasm. It can constitute an impediment to impending sessions of boredom. When you get to the place and you don't see anything that interests you or anything that excites you. So, in other words, traveling, moving from one place to another, change of environment can remove boredom from your life. But be careful. If you now go to an environment that now add more boredom to your life, you see everything will backfire. Maybe you are in a particular place now where you are now, you are enjoying yourself, everything's okay. Because we say travel now, you not travel to a place where everybody there is boring and you don't see the familiar things that you enjoy. Then it's like you are traveling to go and meet boredom where you are going. In other words, terms and conditions apply. Yes. Yes, T and C applies. So if you change environment and you are fascinated to a place where things are more exciting, it can actually remove your boredom. Some people naturally, they love to travel. Naturally, they travel a lot or they enjoy traveling. If you are somebody like that and you are beginning to feel bored, the next thing you should think about is make a journey. Travel. No matter how near, no matter how far, travel so that life will not be boring for you. In fact, when boredom sets in, do you know that you can't even think straight? It affects your productivity. It affects certain things. You start doubting yourself. You start thinking something is wrong with you. So if you are somebody who enjoys traveling, please travel. Conversely, if you are somebody who feel bored when you travel, like some people when they travel like this, first day, second day like this, they want to go back home. And if it now happens that the place you are traveling to, you have to spend 1 month there. The second day you're already thinking of going back home, but you're supposed to spend 1 month. What are you going to do? That means boredom is going to really eat you up very well. So if you are somebody who likes your familiar environment, it is better for you to seek ways of relieving your boredom where you are than to travel. Now, it depends on you, it depends on who you are, and it depends on the things you enjoy doing. How many people here enjoy traveling? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Enjoy, but now you don't enjoy traveling again. Yeah.
Since I moved to Abuja.
Abuja is the place.
Yeah, Abuja is it.
When you are in Abuja, don't travel anywhere. Except to your village, mashallah. Yes, but you know, some people enjoy the countryside, they enjoy the village scenes, they enjoy, you know, looking at the roads as they travel, you know, they enjoy long distance journeys. Some people enjoy those kind of things. Some people just enjoy being in the aircraft, you know, being attended to by the host and hostesses. Yeah, looking at the clouds, you know, seeing some nice things all around. Then when you land, the cozy environment of the hotel room, different from home, you like to stay like that. You know, even though you have the sense that you are on a journey, for some people, journeys and travels are refreshments for them. It refreshes their lives. When you do that for a short while, not for a very long time, for a short while, you stay, but when you are beginning to get homesick, then you pack your things. Call your travel agents to book the next flight for you. Some people enjoy it when it is moderate, but when it becomes elaborate, it becomes a problem. Some people can save money from January to December just because they want to go on vacation. Yes, because they want to travel. Inability to travel and to move around can be a problem. In fact, the Quran says, Alam taku arudullahi wasi'ah. Is Allah's earth not wide enough? Fatuhajiru fiha. Why don't you do hijrah? You know, move around, see things, see places, meet new people, make new friends. It can remove boredom a great deal. But that is when it comes to traveling. What of around and within your area? Visit your neighbor, visit a friend, go to some, somebody you know, call them up, visit them. Moving from one place to another, visiting somebody and somebody visiting you can be very nice in removing your boredom. If you have not been doing that before, I want you to try. See what you can do. Move out, reach out. See new faces. Get smiled at and smile back. You understand what I mean? Yes, may Allah make it easy. Let me quickly mention another one. I've mentioned money and I've mentioned places. Now let's mention this one. This one will shock you. Meals. Meals as in food. Yes. Meals as in food. What have you been eating of late? What have you been eating? There's a saying that we are the things we eat. You are what you eat. You will find that a good mood has some correlation to a good meal or a good nutrition. Can you be in a good mood when you are hungry? Honestly, can you be in a good mood? I've not seen one person that will be in a good mood when they are hungry. That's when people are very irritable. So people will become so, aggressive, like a wet hen, like a hen that just hatched. You get aggressive, you get angry easily. I don't think you'll be in the best mood when you are hungry. Now, a jovial mood, in turn, influences and can be determinant of a person's motivation to engage in profitable, meaningful, and productive activities. When you have good mood, after eating good food, you can be a lot more productive. When a person is bored, unless they already filled up or they've already eaten, you can almost not go wrong with a good, aromatic, tasty, and amorously tantalizing food. If your mood is down, if you are bored, look for a good food to eat. I'm talking about real good food. Do you notice that people eat rice in their homes, but sometimes they decide to go to a restaurant? They'll still eat the same rice, but this way it is. It's one of the ways of buffing off your boredom. Yes, party jollof. Yes. Nigerians do that a lot. Party jollof. There's a way it is. You eat jollof at home, but it doesn't taste like the one you eat in the party. For those who do party after party. Well, whatever that means. So meals, good foods. If the world cooled, we will have reduced foods, calories, and vitamins to tablets that we could easily swallow, and then our hunger will disappear. But humans like to relish the taste of food in their mouths. Not just the taste, the sight of the food. The way the foods are presented is very important to humans, especially those who have what we call dhauk. We call it taste. Then the smell, the aroma of the food is also very important to some people. Now, you may get used to the ones that are usual in your home. And once in a while, you may not necessarily feel that you are bored. But this is something you can do from time to time to prevent boredom in the kind of things you eat. So a particular plate can be very expensive in a restaurant. You are not actually wasting money. You are just trying to buff off any boredom that may result from the usual meal you eat in your home. So in other words, eating food, good food, can be very, very important. A low energy can be caused by inadequate feeding. If you don't feed well, if you don't eat well, if you are less or low in reasonable calories and useful vitamins, it's going to affect your mood. You get petulant, you get grumpy, you get some kind of temperaments that are very lethal in nature. And it's going to manifest in every other thing you do. And then boredom is one of the things that happens to you when you have been deprived of some of the good moods that you need. When the serotonins or melatonins or dopamines are not secreted in your system for too long, then instead of feeling normal, you start feeling low. So I don't know about you, but I know of some people that are usually very happy when they see food. People are happy. Yes.
Maybe your favorite.
Yeah, if I want you to notice how some people will lose control when they're in a buffet. How people will lose their cool when they're in a buffet. When you see all sorts of things, this is white rice, fried rice, yellow rice, coconut rice, jollof rice, all sorts of rice, Chinese rice, Indian rice. This one that sounds like karatu, basmati. It sounds like Bismillah. Sounds like Arabic. Then when you see all of those array of food, and these people are very smart in arranging those foods. The way they will arrange it, it's appealing to your eyes. The same rice, they present it in 10 ways. This one is brown, this one is orange, this one is white, this one is yellow, this one is colorless, if there's anything like that. They know the thing they put together, and then they don't put some seasonings, they put some stuff, they put some, the garnishing, they mix the colors. You see yellow, then they drop some red stuff on it, maybe fruit or whatever thing. And then they do in such a way that the natural colors of the food, they kind of excite you. They make you to secrete some saliva. And that is a good therapy for somebody that is bored. For some people who love food a lot, that is why you see them, they lose their cool, they lose their, they lose control when they see food like that. They can say anything, they can talk anything, they are emboldened, they are enthused, they are inspired, they are spiritually elated, they achieve some transcendence because of food. Allahu Akbar. They become motivated. They have exuberance when they see food. If that's the kind of person, if that's the person you are, that means good food can actually ameliorate your boredom. Use it as medicine. You understand what I mean? Use it as medicine. Look for places where you can eat good food or prepare it for yourself in the house. Make it for yourself in the house. You see a kind of meal where, Allah Akbar, it is soup. It's soup. But you can't call it pepper soup. You can't call it, there's a way it is. You see some shrimp are almost coming alive in some soup, as if they are swimming. Allahu Akbar. And then you see the way the fishes are prepared. You see even the head of the fish is kind of wink at you like this, wink. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar Kabira. So please, meal, good food, can be a way of busting your boredom. Now, marriages can be boring when couples don't eat good food in their affordable varieties. Do you agree? Marriages can be very boring when couples don't eat good food, at least once in a while. And woe betide a family that do not cook well. or they don't cook good food, or they cook the same type of food over and over and over and over, no matter how delicious or how nice it is, after a while it gets boring. Just like everything in life. If the only car you have is a limousine, and you keep driving it every day, after a while it gets boring, and you see somebody in a small car, Volkswagen, or this type that you buy in Mechanic Village, you start liking that one more than your own, even though you are in a Lexus. You begin to feel, it's too much. Then after a while you feel it's nice, but it's too monotonous. After a while you start experimenting with something. You just like get down from your car and look for keke napep, or you call up an Uber. Allah Akbar. May Allah have mercy on us. So please try. Let people try. Look for ways of removing your boredom by eating good food that can elevate you or elate your mood. You know, that can excite you, that can make you feel good, feel well. Everybody gets bored once in a while. But if you are not cautious, you may not know that all you just need is a different kind of food. You know, a different kind of dish. Or eating the food in a different kind of environment. You understand it now? Yes, you women that cook every day, you need to go to places where somebody else will do the cooking. Yes. Yeah, where somebody else do the cooking and somebody will serve you the food. Though you are going to pay for it too. Yeah, you can fix it towards month end when you have just received your salary. Before you think of any other thing, just yes, finish yourself, so to speak. May Allah make it easy for us. Now, let me mention another one. How many have we mentioned? We've mentioned money, we've mentioned the places, and now we mentioned meal, food, and we say, yes, if you eat the same kind of food too much, you get bored. But if you are feeling bored for any reason, experiment with different types of food. Even when you feel sick, if you see good food, you may likely be able to force yourself to eat it. As in, force yourself to eat nicely prepared pepper soup. Allah Akbar. If you don't want to take medicine, you don't feel like eating anything, take something nice, something light, something liquid, like chin-chin. Not to go and be eating something very heavy, something that will be giving you a headache here, you know, those kind of things. Now, the next one is company. Company, not as in a place of work. Company as in the people you keep company with, people you associate with. When last did you see or you talk with or you hold that someone that can be called the best of all companies? Good company. Good company can be priceless. Yes, there could be moments when you will want some solitude. You know, you may just want to be alone sometimes. But ultimately, some way or in one way or the other, there are times when you need to meet with somebody or you need to cope with some company, where you need to be with people. The presence of a good spouse, good husband, good wife, good children, relatives, friends can go a long way in making your day memorable. Good, and I mean very good office colleagues that can remove your boredom and that can inject happiness into your life. It's instructive to note that just as a good company has the potential to optimize your use of time, so also having a bad company can be very, very counterproductive. And trust me, you are better off being bored than having some kind of friends around you. There are some friends, all they do is to kill your mood, and they can be very boring when you are around them. Allah Akbar Kabira. A good companion can analyze you, can provide solutions to some of your problems. A good companion is somebody you can discuss with, you can relate with, somebody that can listen to your side of the stories, somebody who can listen to what you have been feeling all the day, and it's very profitable to keep such people around you. A good company can and should enhance your purposes for the better. What are the things you want to do? What are the things you want to enjoy in life? Good companies are very good. There's no substitute for good companies. And talking about good company, although presence of a good company is very important, sometimes it's not always physical. Sometimes it can be, what we call it, virtual. It can be virtual. With the modern technology now, it's easy for you to keep in touch with people who may be even far away beyond your reach. Social media services, they have interesting approaches now that can facilitate your relationship or relating with people, reaching out to people. There's video chats now. There are good group chats now. There are many other pages of interest that you can, connect with people. Sometimes among these virtual companies are those you can even discuss your problems with. That's why a problem shared is half solved, that kind of a thing. And so when you have good companies, it can be very, very nice. So I've mentioned two types of companies now. The ones that you can see physically and the ones that are virtual. They can remove your boredom. They can make you happy. Just ensure that you are surrounded by the kind of companies that you are going to find interesting. This is also very important. If you surround yourself with companies that are boring, then your boredom will be doubled. You see, let's say you are bored, that's why you try to keep coming. You just chat somebody up, or you call up your spouse, or you call up your friend, or you are discussing. If that person is boring, what have you just done to yourself now? It's like a snake. A snake that is challenging a scorpion. What do you think will come out of it? Or a snake gets married to a scorpion. What kind of child will they give birth to? The child will be Venom, called Venom. Venomotu. That's the name. That's the name of the child. In other words, when you keep companies, look for companies. What other name can I use for company? Friends, right? Or companions, associates, chatmates. Yeah, look for such people that are interesting. And sometimes, they should also be crazy. Let me tell you what I mean by crazy. Because there's this dictum that crazy people elicit more interest than people who are not crazy. When I say crazy, I don't mean crazy in the negative side. I'm talking about people who are not too serious every time. Yeah, people who are too serious, they can be very boring. Yeah, not friend that will be too serious every time, 24/7. Yeah, let there be people who will smile. Yes, people who will smile, people who can laugh. Yeah, people who can do really funny things to cheer you up. That's what I mean by crazy friends. Friends who are not discussing the usual things you want to hear. When people get too, how do I put it? When people get too serious, you know how it feels now? Every time serious matter. No jokes, no. That's why may Allah forgive me, that's why some people don't like to stay too long in the masjid. They don't like to stay too long in the mosque. Or they don't like to listen to khutbah with so much rapt attention. Even though that Allah says you should listen. Some people don't like to listen because the companionship of the imam may be very boring. Very boring. I'm not saying this to discourage you. And I hope imams will not get angry at this. But some imams can be really boring. I'm serious. Really boring. You start sleeping. Once you enter into the masjid like this, as if you swallow Villion 5, you begin to just sleep because what he's saying is boring. Very interesting stories and narratives in the Quran will present it in such a boring way. Even the Islam itself, as sweet and as nice as Islam is, it will be so boring because he doesn't know how to be interesting. Yes, this is what I mean. If people don't know how to be interested, it can be boredom on its own. So please try. When you seek companionship, look for men or women that are not boring. Some of you ladies who are single, please, when you marry, don't marry somebody who will bore you to death. One of the poisons to love is boredom. Love is supposed to excite some spirit of energy and aliveness in us. But when that kind of love or relationship becomes so boring, then it's nothing now. Come on, think about this. It's nothing. Many husbands now, their wives don't like to sit around them because they are so boring. Tell me, what kind of thing do men do that makes them very boring? Can anybody tell me? He's always, and you may not be interested in football. He will be talking about politics, and it's none of your business. Yeah, some men are so boring. All they talk about is business, money. They don't do anything for fun. Even when you crack jokes, they don't laugh. God. If you are laughing too much, he will get angry. He'll be like, you don't have better things to do. Don't have better things to do. You will start feeling, agitated. You start feeling irritated. You'll be feeling uncomfortable because you are laughing. Be like, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? I've seen some guys who will go to a wedding place and they'll just frown. They just be looking like that. People will be like, what's wrong? Somebody died here. Nobody died here, but why are you just like that? In fact, for your information, or to remind you, the prophet said when you are eating, you should be chatting. You should be talking. You should be discussing. You should be saying nice things so that it will go along with what you are eating. You don't keep quiet and get so bored. Some homes like this, they are just like cemeteries, like burial grounds. Everything is just boring. So when you have husband or you have wife, don't be interesting to one another. This is very important. The reason why some people are bored is because they don't have the spouses that can actually, be interesting, that can remove the burdens of their lives, that can, remove their annoyance, that can give them hope. You understand what I mean? May Allah have mercy on us. Good company can ameliorate the effect of boredom, but you must watch the company that you keep. Sometimes if you keep a bad company, you can, get the opposite, and it's going to be very bad for you. Now, let me ask you now, are you aware that some couples are boring to each other, even in the bedroom? Boredom in the bedroom is one of the lethal weapons that can kill marriages. And some people don't make any change. They don't, how do I describe this? Yeah, they don't get themselves interested even in being in the bedroom. You understand what I mean? There are some rules and laws of fiqh that don't work in the bedroom. I'm serious. You can't be wearing your hijab in the bedroom. Oh, thank you. You can't be wearing hijab in the bedroom. You are going to get so boring. Or the man who, I don't know how to describe this. I just want to leave it like that. I just want to leave it like that. Men who they don't laugh, they don't joke, they don't crack jokes, they don't send messages, they don't have nice words, they don't speak good words, they don't have good verbiage. Not that they don't know how to do, but they refuse to do these things. And then everything becomes boring. You see the wife, she will just pretend to be busy in the kitchen while the husband is in the bedroom, because she knows that once she enters there, now everything will be so boring. Or some people, when they're in the bedroom, that's when they'll be discussing bad things that happen. They'll be talking about many people that died. They'll be talking about riots that are going on. They'll be talking about, are those kind of things meant for bedroom? Tell me now, I don't know. They'll be talking about bad things that happen. They'll be talking about things that will make you to be sad. And some men, not until when they get to the bedroom before they start talking about the people they chop off their heads, the people that policemen killed, the police brutality. That's when this man will start discussing it. It is then he will start talking about bad business. Well, I don't know. He will start talking about bad business. He'll be talking about how he is broke. He'll be talking about how life is not going well with him, how he is suffering, how his business is going down. Inside the bedroom, that is boring. It's not a topic for bedroom. You understand what I'm trying to say now? Then people's activities, bedmatics of husband and wife, if it gets too boring, it's just going to become just an activity of reproduction alone. And then they give birth to children that are boring too. Because the whole activity was boring in the first place. Ha! Subhanallah. Now, let me ask you now, are you an interesting person? Yes or no? You as a person now. Let's say you are the one we are talking to. Are you an interesting person? Are you a snob? What do you mean by snob? Somebody who is very uninteresting, boring. Somebody who just snub people, who just ignore people. Do you bore people for a living? Yes, some people. Yes, some people bore others for a living. It's as if he makes money out of it.
Some news
Yeah, I'm talking about the way they take it very serious to get you bored.
news casting in Nigeria.
New,
News casting in Nigeria.
well, I don't want to say that.
I'm not mentioning any.
Yes, some of the stations are like that. They will bore you when you just listen to them or you see. Look, I want everybody. We are talking about people who are boring now. I'm just saying that you should look at yourself. I hope you are not boring too. How come you don't have people around you? How come you don't have people associate with you? How come you don't have... When people are around you, they just find a way to escape. They just run away. Maybe you are boring too. Everybody should check themselves. Look at yourself. Maybe you are boring. Boring to your neighbors, boring to your colleagues in the office, boring to everybody around you. So they kind of just like avoid you. You know, they don't want to have anything to do with you. Are you really boring? Think about it now. If you are boring, better check yourself up. You have to be interesting to be able to remove boredom from other people's lives. And if you are boring on your own, that means you are also suffering from boredom too. You cannot shield yourself from your own poison. If you are boring, then your life is going to be boring too. Because people will not come around you. People will not associate with you. People will not keep your company because you are not interesting. Some people might just prefer to go and sleep than to talk to you. May Allah have mercy on us. All right, let's mention another one. This one is a bit general now. Activities. Activities. What good things are you able to do for yourself? What activities actually makes you to be alive, to remove your boredom? What are the fun activities that you have? You understand what I mean? Yeah, to somebody who is bored, when we say activities, this is supposed to sound like aspirin or paracetamol to somebody who has headache. Fun activities. The other ones we have mentioned, they are similar. They are one form of activities or the other, but let's mention this one separately as a point. Activities. What activities do you engage in that can remove your boredom, you know? That can keep you busy apart from job. You understand what I mean now? Apart from going to work, what other activities do you do? Let's mention some as example. For example, sleep. You want me to say that again? Sleep. You want me to spell it? S-L-E-E-P. Sleep. Sleep is an activity. Yes, sleep can help to shield you from some unpleasant things that you have to cope with. Sometimes you may just have to sleep, get enough sleep. Sometimes when you are too bored, don't fight it. If you like to sleep, please just sleep. It's possible that you have lacked enough sleep, or you are suffering from lack of enough sleep. You just see that you can't coordinate. You see that you can't put things together. You are feeling so down. So just sleep. Sleep. When you wake up, you get refreshed. So in other words, I want you to take it serious that sleep is an activity. وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَكُمْ سُبَاتًا وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا. Allah has already put it in place. Don't topple it. Allah has made your sleep as repose for you. Something that can repair you. Something that can rejuvenate you. Something that can resuscitate you. Something that can bring you back to life. وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَكُمْ سُبَاتًا وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ libas. Allah has made nights for you as your libas, something to cover yourself with. Just chill, relax, take it easy at night. Then وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا, and the daytime for you to seek your livelihood. When you have worked and you are tired, please sleep. If you don't sleep, you become bored. Your mood will go down. Ennui can be very destructive when it comes to productivity, right? Another activity can be reading. Reading. Both can get immersive in the way they engage you. Getting yourself a rich collection of titles of books to read can go a long way in removing your boredom. That is, read. Read. I've seen that some people who have habit of reading, they are hardly bored. Because even when they are alone, they are reading one novel, they are reading one book, they can spend hours reading, not talking to anybody, and enjoying themselves. Gone are the days when people really like reading. Now many people are allergic to reading. Many people are allergic to books. When they see books, they start sneezing. Yeah, some people have allergy to books. When they see books now, they start having headache. No. Don't develop allergy to books. Whether they are e-books or they are books in soft format, the ones you can read off your devices, or the ones that are the hard copy of books, get reading something. Do you know one of the blessings of reading is that you are eating the brains of authors? It can be very interesting. What I mean by eating the brains of authors is a particular book, an author could have spent 10 years reading that book, 10 good years, researching, asking questions, performing experiments, putting experiences together. For 10 years, he's able to produce one book. You can read that same book, even within 1 hour, you have eaten the brain of that author. That sense that you are ingesting something that somebody spent years to put together is enough to get you excited, to get you interested, to want to learn about people's biography, to learn about people's experiences, to learn about what people have studied in their lives. Reading is the way to go. Imagine yourself now reading 10 books of such authors who have spent 10 years each in putting the books together. You have just read a work or works of 100 years. It is so exciting to go into the world of those authors, to read their thoughts. Some of them spent nights writing, reading also and researching. If you go to the back of those books, you see the content, you see the biographies or bibliographies. You see the bibliographies there, right? You see the references there. These people have eaten books, literally. Let me put it that way. They have read and read and read. An author will write one single book and he has gone through 100 books before he wrote that one. Look at the multiplying effect. Now you read that book of that author. It's as if you have also read 100 books somehow because of the knowledge you are going to get from there. In other words, I'm putting it to you that when you are bored, get used to reading. Get used to reading. You may have to force yourself to read. Look for topics and aspects that you really enjoy. There are so many types and genre of books now. Self-help books, motivational books, textbooks are also there. Bibliography of others, life experiences of others. There's hardly any subject you want to read about. In fact, read recipe of how to cook different things, if that's your own niche. Read books that are funny, humorous. Books that you read, you put it down and you laugh, then you go back to reading again. People wonder, what are you laughing at? I say, don't worry, I read something just now. Something that can make you look crazy sometimes. I think I like crazy sometimes. Read like you are crazy. That's what I mean. Read, know it, find out. If you can do this activity, I believe that your boredom will be reduced. If not, that it will remove it completely. I hope you understand what I mean. Similar to reading is writing also. If you are somebody who knows how to write or you are trying to write, you observe that it is when you are alone that the inspiration to write comes to you. Sometimes you are inspired in the crowd, but when you are alone and you begin to write, you see the thought will start flowing. The muse will kind of visit you, and what you are going to write will start coming. If you like poetry, write poems. Even if you are not going to show anybody to read. I mean, if you are not sure or whether what you have written is a poetry or a prose, just write something. So writing can also be very nice. Write your experiences, write what you are going through, write what is happening to you, write what you would like to see happen in your life. Do some writings. It's going to remove your boredom. And I've asked some people to try it, like you as a coach. I want you to tell some of your people to write sometime. They too will be shocked what comes out of them because this, yeah, exactly, journaling. Yes, you write those things down and you see that at the end of it all, you are not bored anymore. You get to talk to yourself. You get to keep yourself company, and it's such a nice thing. Another one similar to that, I'm still talking about activities. I've mentioned what's the first one I mentioned?
Reading, writing.
Sleep, reading, writing. Okay. Let's say praying, as in dua.
Number 6.
No, as part of these activities. I'm just suggesting activities. dua, make prayers. You weren't expecting this one that is going to be an important activity, right? Praying is an activity, a very important activity. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to tell Bilal, you say, Bilal, call adhan so that we can find rest, so that our mind will be at rest. Salat is one of those activities that can remove boredom from your life. I want you to think about this, and I want to think about this very critically. You've been a Muslim and you don't really value this thing. How will you be if you don't observe 5 daily prayers? Kai, how will you be? I'm not talking about some of you from time to time you are off Salat. But what I mean is when you are in Salat, how does it feel not to pray? You mean you'll be like wake up in the morning and there's no Salat? And then by Zohr, you just pretend as if nothing's happening. Many of you, if you miss your Zohr by 2 hours, you become restless. The only thing that can make you not to be bored is when you go and make that Salat. Allah has really blessed you. You are really lucky. So you can imagine towards Maghrib or by Isha, a person will not pray Isha and will just go to sleep just like that. That can be so boring. Very, very boring. In other words, prayers when it comes to Salat, and then prayers when it comes to Dua, these are very essential. Then prayer when it comes to Adhkar, the Quran says, Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. It is with the remembrance of Allah that your heart can find rest. In other words, if you are bored, make ablution and do Adhkar. If you are feeling bored, that's a very nice time that you need to say something to Allah. If you are feeling bored, that's a really nice time for you to talk to Allah about something. You'll be like, yes, I've been wanting to say this to Allah before. When you are feeling bored, make ablution, make 2 rakats, and begin to talk to Allah. You'll find a lot of blessing in that. Your spirit is going to be calmed. And that's why dhikri, remembrance of Allah, nawafil, that's supererogatory prayers, they are very essential. I want everyone to hold this very seriously. This is very important. And I pray Allah will make it easy for all of us. Remove your boredom with a lot of prayer. Remove your boredom with a lot of adhkar. Remove your boredom with a lot of recitation of the glorious Quran, and you will never regret it. In fact, play the Quran on audio. Listen to different riwayat, different recitations. If you listen to Khalil Husari, listen to Sudaisi, listen to Abdullah Jabir, listen to Shuraim, listen to all of this. Listen to your Husayfi, thank you. Abdul Basit, Abdul Samad. Yes, listen to all of these ones from one recitation to another. You will never be bored, honestly, unless you don't know how to enjoy good life of the nice sounds that you hear. Beautiful sounds. Now, there's an app that you have all of those recitations. You see, you can never be bored if you're a Muslim. Honestly, if you are bored, that means you do not remember some of the things you should do. Everybody should bear this in mind. Then there are some of the local recitations too. The ones from your village. There's a way they do this thing. And they're really nice. I'm telling you, there's some really nice voice out there. Really nice voice out there. Please, take advantage of this and do it. Yes, let me quickly mention another activity so that you can have your life back. Chores. What do I mean by chores? C-H-O-R-E-S. Chores. Household chores. Chores. For everybody. Not only for men, for everybody. Yes, when you are bored, get something doing. Wash clothes. Do some laundering. Scrub the floor. Do some cleaning. Do some cooking if you are bored. I know many of you ladies who, whenever you are bored, you just enter into the kitchen. Then you start singing. Your life comes back. Yeah, there's some ladies like that. When they get bored like this, just let her enter into the kitchen and give her 20 minutes. She will come out smiling. Yes, because she has been able to cook something, put some things together like that. And then it's very transcendent for some people. It's a very nice experience for some people to be cooking. Don't you see? Have you noticed, those of you who wash clothes or clean your bathroom, you start singing because it removes your boredom. It gives you certain joy of putting things in order, How the Quran says, "Wala tufsidu fil ard ba'da islahiha." Don't put mischief on earth after Allah has put everything in order. That islah that you are doing, or the istihsan, something that is good you are making to be better, it can be very, very elevating. It makes you happy. It removes your boredom. That is why when you are scrubbing the floor or you are taking care of your, I know you have helps, you have people you are paying to do that for some of you. But when you do some of these things by yourself, you kind of feel happy. And if you have people doing other things for you, I want you to please try to bath by yourself. Yes, take your bath by yourself. You will enjoy it. Does anybody employ somebody to do that for them? Yeah, take bath. Take care of yourself. Scrub yourself, clean yourself. Do all of these things of fitra. Clip your nails, shave what you need to shave. Do things you need to do. They can remove your boredom. Honestly, try it. It's cool to do some chores sometimes. Even if it's something you are not doing every time, you should try to do it as much as you can. Thank you. Then another one is, let me mention this one because it may interest some of you. I'm still talking about activities, movies and videos. Movies and when was the last time you watched something that is curious, something that is humorous, something that's exhilarating, something that is educative? I'm not talking about watching bad news on TV, because that one can kill you before boredom comes. I'm talking about watching things that can be a great way to quell your boredom. Honestly, in my own opinion, it's nice to have a TV in your house. And make sure it is color TV. Well, whatever that means. I'm just trying to tell you that get a very nice HD with very nice resolution, high resolution. In fact, extra high resolution. Watch crispy and clear pictures of good things. Now, the question you want to ask me is, what should you watch? You understand it now? The world is pervaded by different kinds of movies and videos. Some of them are haram to watch. Some of them don't even think about it. Some of them, there's no way you can wash your head off them after you watch them. Don't watch videos that do not add value to your life. Even if it's just to catch fun. Make sure it's a fun that is halal. We have the website, YouTube is also there. You can upload many videos, or you can watch many videos that are there that can really be very interesting, that can remove your boredom. We're in the world of smart TVs now. You can actually watch anything you want to watch. This is what I'm saying now. There's no need to be afraid of TV anymore, because smart TVs, you can actually type in what exactly you want to watch that is not haram, unless you can't control or you can't discipline yourself. I hope you understand. You only need a very good internet access. And mind you, you can watch your Islamic lectures on videos. Watch Mufti Mink. Yes, listen to Mufti Mink. Watch his lectures. You will see plenty of them. You will learn, you will laugh, you will enjoy, and you will be educated. We have Sheikh Sallah, Muhammad Sallah, professor. You have Bilal Phillips. You have Reggae. You have many of these scholars there. Numa Ali Khan, wonderful. You just type in and then you watch this thing. Don't let life leave you behind, being bored for nothing. There's absolutely no excuse for being bored again nowadays. When you have all these scholars you can listen to. You listen to them, you watch them, you learn some things, you read comments, you can even ask them questions. And you see, one nice thing about these scholars I've mentioned is that they are not boring. Unless you are a bored, I don't want to use a bad word to describe you, that you watch Mink's lecture and you will not be happy. Unless you are a naturally sad person. Because even if he's talking about death, you will still laugh. Yes, he will still make it interesting to you. If he wants you to think deeply, you will still think deeply, but it's not going to hurt you. So these are some of the ways to remove boredom. I'm not saying that you should listen to lecture 24/7. You know what I mean? That's not going to be, it's going to be boring after a while too. But the thing is, watch documentaries, right? Yes, learn about people from all over the world. Learn about the natural world. You heard of Nat Geo Wild, right? Yes, National Geographic channels, right? Yes, watch those things. Look at the plants. There's Food Network also. Yes, I know some people really like food here. And there's nothing that is wrong with that. Whatever your area of interest, you will find it. Documentaries about animals, the plant kingdom, the birds, the planktons, the outer space. Learn how things work. Learn how things are made. Watch history channels. There are many things you can do with your smart TV now. And I'm recommending it that it's another way of removing your boredom. Just don't go into things that are haram. But I'm sure you can learn a lot of things. Especially when you are watching things about animal kingdom. Honestly, you get to see that Allah is great. You see the artistry. You see the beauty of the things Allah has created. And this can be very, very elevating. They can be very nice. Now, let's quickly move on now as if we're rounding off. We've left activities now. Let me mention this one so that you can have your life back. That is discover your purpose in life. Discover your purpose. Do you know what life is about or why you are here? If you can't answer this question, that means you are going to be really bored after a while. Life is a lot like a pilgrimage. It's a journey. And in this journey, you are going to need a map. One which reveals where you are and where you are going to. This map will tell you where you are now, and the GPS will direct you to where you are going. You will also be needing supplies, and sometimes you need helpers along the line of the journey of life. In the journey of life, there are lots of distractions. The road to your destination is littered with so many side attractions and frivolities that you will be a lot wiser to avoid. And failure to avoid these things means you will never make it to the original destination that you have in mind. And what is this map? The map is the Quran and Sunnah. The Quran says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I've neither created mankind nor jinns except so that they may serve me, they may worship me. And that means Allah has already told you the purpose of your life. The purpose of existence. The crux of the purpose of every human being in life that walks on earth is for you to serve Allah. Now, if you understand this, your life will never become boring again. Because you see, people who say there's no God, who don't believe in God, they don't have anywhere to fall back to when life situation begin to deal with them. But you believe in Allah. You believe in the higher entity, the divine entity that has created this world, and you believe in the hereafter. So every activity you have, you are able to fall back to Allah, to complain to Him, to look at the Quran and know the next step you should take in your life. And this is very essential for those who believe in Almighty Allah. The Kitab and Sunnah will contain the do's and don'ts, will tell you which one is distractive. The Quran will tell you about the dunya itself. إِعْلَمُوا أَنَّمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا لَعِبٌ وَلَهْوٌ وَتَفَاخُرٌ بَيْنَكُمْ وَتَكَاثُرٌ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ كَمَثَلِ غَيْظٍ أَعْجَبَ الْكُفَّارَ نَبَاتُهُ. Look at that in Surah Al-Hadid. Allah described the example of this world. You see, it starts to become very green. After a while, it becomes yellowish, it becomes brownish, it dries and dissipates. Something that was fresh yesterday has become cripples. It has called wrinkles now. And it has become something that is getting old and obsolete. And you know the end of everything is atavism. Everything will get to be destroyed. Kullu man alayya fan. Everything will come to an end one day. Whether you are suffering or you are enjoying life, it will end one day. Yes, whether you are bored or you are not bored, it will come to an end one day. And the Quran will tell you that it doesn't matter whether you have Iman or not, you will face trials. You will have deprivations. You will face some lacks. You will be broke sometimes. You will be confused sometimes. You will be lost sometimes. You will be bored sometimes. Allah has already told you that. So why the worry? When you are bored, you know it's temporarily. You are just bored for that time. It's not something that will last forever. Men may feel life is not worth living because they are broke, because they are sick, because they have no friends, because they feel or they have been molested, because they have been harassed, because they have been excoriated, because they have been besmirched, they have been humiliated in some way. But how at peace and content some people will have been if only they have taken a few minutes to appraise and acknowledge all the divine blessings Allah has done for them. If only they could understand that the Quran says, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you can only be grateful, I'm going to increase more of goodness for you. And Allah will say, Wafi anfusikum afala tubsirun. Can't you look at yourself? Can't you look at yourself and be grateful for once? The Quran already tells you that all of these things will come, but be grateful. Be grateful for the life you have. And when you are grateful, then you move ahead and utilize all the good things Allah has put at your disposal. You see, the psychology of that is, if you are not grateful, you will not see good things. You only see what you are grateful for. I know this, and I know very well that having more iman in Allah doesn't make a person to be foolish. It doesn't make you to be boring. It doesn't make you to be uncivilized, because Islam is very real. So if you have nagging sessions of boredom, I will encourage you to turn to Allah, to return to Allah, to seek Allah and to believe in Allah, to do adhkar and to come really close to Kitab and Sunnah. You will see that all your boredom will be removed. Just make sure you understand Islam very well. Islam is not a deen of boredom. Islam is a deen of relaxation. It's a deen of Hanifiyya, the deen of Ibrahim, the Hanif. Pure and simple. If you can live simple lives without complicating your life, it's possible that you have removed other things that can bore you down. If you can also learn to enjoy and derive benefit and enjoyment from simple things of life, you will see that you don't have any need to be bored. And if you are bored, it will be easy for you to come out of it quickly. Now, let me conclude now, so that you can have your lives back. Downtimes and moments of deep sobriety could happen upon us. It is normal. And what we do with such times is what makes the difference. When you are feeling down, what do you do? A lack of fun, a lack of fun and excitement can induce feelings that are not good for the mind. They are not natural. They are not in line with human soul for you to have a life that is so boring. Everybody needs excitement once in a while. Everybody needs to have some kind of fun once in a while. Look for halal fun. Play games. Laugh. Joke. Relax. Sleep if you must sleep. Allahu Akbar. I've come to find out that boredom is a mental issue, and it can trigger many other things, and it can be triggered by many things. And that's why I was mentioning place. That's our environment, the kind of food we eat, the kind of company that we keep, the kind of attitude we have to life. And so the human soul can only find rest when you are able to understand that these things are normal like that. Also, try to see that you don't follow the Joneses. Don't live your life as a copy and paste of other people's lives. What is exciting to one person may not be exciting to you. So don't try to live your life by imitating others, because they seem to be catching fun. You also want to catch fun that way. It may not be funny to you, so to speak. In other words, look within yourself and see the thing that can give you some goodness. I also want to conclude by saying that any man that is living without the full awareness of the manifold possibilities of life will surely be bored. There are many possibilities in life. While you are there thinking that some things are impossible, some other person are already doing it. Don't limit yourself to only one thing. Varieties, excitement, creativity, moving around, reading wide. All of these things are very good. And don't anybody think that cheating or beating the system can remove your boredom. Drugs and liquor and smoking and matters of infidelity, they can't remove boredom. They can only add to your problems. So let everybody find ways of making their lives to work. Make your marriages to work. Make your things to go well. And relate with people that are going to really make you smile. You see, life cannot go well when you are living in a mechanical state. You do the same thing the same way over and over. You go to the same work, you do the same job, you meet the same people, you do the same thing. After a while, you'll be bored now. Even boredom will be bored of you. When when boredom becomes too much in your life, even boredom itself is going to be bored. This guy doesn't have any other thing to do. Allah have mercy on us. So in other words, when the ululation of daily life gets too engrossing, when routinized existence becomes too excruciating, when you get to see that the exhilaration you are supposed to get from everyday enjoyment is no longer getting interesting, It means you need to re-examine your life and remove some routines that are caging you into a rut. Yeah, don't go into a rut in life. That is, don't do some things in such a way that they get boring for you. That's why when you are in a job, you go on vacation, you go on leave. When they give you leave, I beg, go on leave. You know, have some rest and do some things that are outside the normal thing that you normally do. I hope you understand. May Allah make it easy for us. In other words, to move away from feelings of boredom, a man must first awaken himself from the sleep of mechanical life. The keenness and tang to life come when we move away from mechanical life to a creative life. The personal self makes an inward journey to greater integrity, to greater purity of vision and wholeness. You become complete when you go into creativity in your life. We begin to reach higher levels of the conscious life. And you remember, again, this word conscious that we mentioned earlier on, the word conscious is what? To be aware, is to be mindful. It is to notice the patterns of your life, to realize that you are the one responsible for the ennui that you suffer from, the boredom that is killing you. To notice, to realize, to observe, to be awake, and to know how to turn the venom of boredom to serum of healing for yourself. And I pray Almighty Allah is going to make it easy for all of us. May Allah forgive me, may Allah forgive you too. If you are bored, take it easy. It's normal to be bored. But I believe that you are going to get over it if you try to practice some of these things we have been talking about. And I pray Allah is going to make it a success for all of us. May Allah forgive me, may Allah forgive you too. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر لي ولكم أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.